In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your own WordPress website to create pages that look just like these using a simple drag and drop builder tool. We'll also cover all the basic functions of how WordPress works so that you can be ready to start putting together content fast. If you want to follow along with me, just scroll down below and click the link in the description to get started. I've also provided links to some additional resources that I'll reference during the video. Let's get started. So welcome to the tutorial. Today I'll be going over how you can get started on your own WordPress website, and we're gonna cover the basic steps that you need in order to get your website up and running. So this is just a little preview of what we'll be going over in the video. We'll be going over hosting, and hosting is basically what you need if you want to have your own domain, your own .com. Okay, and it just takes a few minutes to set up, so we'll quickly go through that, and then after that we're gonna install and log on to our WordPress dashboard, and that's where you'll get a chance to pick a theme, a design for your website, upload any plugins, which are basically add-ons to help enhance the look and feel of your pages. And then we'll go over how to set up your pages, how to start creating some posts, and some of the differences here between posts, pages, how you can set up a home page. Great, so let's get started. Okay, so if you want to follow along, you can scroll to the bottom in the description and click on the link, and let's get started. So first step is to sign up for hosting. This is Bluehost. Okay, it's just a few dollars a month, and the reason I picked this one is because they're gonna give you a free domain for the first year, so you don't have to worry about going to another website and getting your own domain and then trying to link everything together. So it's just takes a few minutes, and it's pretty convenient. Okay, so there's a few different plans here. This is kind of like the recommended one. It's good if you want to create more than one website, but if you're just starting out and you've never built a WordPress site and you just want to stick to one, which I do recommend in the beginning, you can just click the basic plan. If you ever want to switch, you can always kind of go back in the future and update your plan, but I'll just click this one. All right, and then this is where we're going to set up your domain, your .com. So like this is bluehost.com, that's their domain, and this is where you're going to come up with your own. I do recommend when you're at this step that you pick a name that's not going to pigeonhole you for the future. So by that I mean you may have like a focus for your website right now, and then maybe in 3-4 months down the road you might kind of want to shift the focus slightly, and when you do, the content won't really match with the name of the original website. So pick something that's a little bit broader, that can encompass different types of content. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this step, but you're gonna want to try out a few keywords and see if they work. So just type in some stuff here and then click next to check. Once it's available, you can move on to the next step. Okay, here's where you're going to fill out some of your information. So just your name, address, and your email address right here. You want to make sure you get this right because this is where your account information and your receipt will be sent, and that's where you'll also get a confirmation email to log on to WordPress. Now for the package information, they have different account plans. So if you want to sign up for the 12-month plan, it'll be a little bit more expensive per month. if you do plan on having the website for a while, I do recommend going with the 36-month plan because it will be the most affordable. Okay, and there's some package extras here for additional amounts. You don't have to install these if you don't want. They're not necessary, but you know, if it's something you want to kind of look into a little bit more, you can look into it. And then you're going to fill in your payment information here. Okay. You want to look through the terms of service, agree, and then you're going to submit. And once you've taken care of all that, you should get a confirmation email. So just make sure to check your email, and you'll get something that should look like this. You're going to verify your email, and it's going to give you a payment confirmation. Then you can log in. All right. Okay, so this is going to be your Bluehost kind of dashboard. You don't have to worry too much about this. All these things right here you can take care of and fill out once you log on to WordPress. Okay, this is stuff, you know, in case you want to update or change your password or email. You can also add your own .com domain email through here. There's a free way to do it. Maybe I can show you that later. But yeah, so I already have my website right here, and I'm just going to log on to WordPress. Okay, now we're on the WordPress dashboard. Okay, this is where you're going to be designing your website, putting together content, adding plugins, adjusting the appearance, all that kind of stuff. So here in the front dashboard, you might get some updates for different plugins you've signed up for. You don't have to worry too much about that right now. But the first thing I want to show you is the theme area, and that's where you're gonna pick like a design for your website. So we're just gonna go down to appearance and click on themes. Okay, and here we're gonna pick a theme for our website. Now there's a few different options. You can scroll through the premium themes, which are the paid ones, which you don't have to worry about right now because there's plenty of free ones. So you can do the premium ones, the free ones, or you can upload your own. You can always go on a different website and download the theme itself and then upload it onto your dashboard. Me, for example, I'm using GeneratePress. If that's something you're interested in, you can just go to generatepress.com and install the theme. There's a free version and a premium version. Okay, it's simple, it's lightweight, which means there's not a lot of coding that's going to slow down the speed of your website. Okay, but yeah, you choose what you like. So all you do is you go to WordPress.org themes for the free ones, and you can browse by popular, latest, or premium, and just kind of look around and see what you like. Okay, and then when you find something that looks interesting, you just hover over it. You can click the preview. It'll give you an idea of what your website might look like when you install the theme. Okay, so we can just go through that. Anyways, once you have something you like, you just click on it and you're going to click install, and then afterwards you're going to click, once it's installed, you're going to activate it, and then once it's activated, that means it's live and your website's updated with that theme. Okay. All right, so next part we're going to do is look through the plugins area. All right, so like I said, plugins are just add-ons for your website. When you first start out, there might be a few here. I have quite a bit more because I've kind of been adding some here and there as time went on, but you don't have to worry about trying to add too many plugins. And in fact, the less you have, the better, because the more plugins you have, it could slow down your website speed, and that could affect, user experience. Okay, but there are a few plugins that I do want to show you that I do recommend. I think you'll like. So the first one is called Social Warfare. Okay, so by the way, when you want to install, you just go up to plugins and you click add new, and then you're just going to search. So Social Warfare is going to be a plugin that's going to let you add social share buttons to your blog posts. Okay, so I already have it installed, but what you want to do is, if you want this one, you're going to click on the install now button, and then you're going to click on the activate button, and then it's going to activate. Okay, and you should get a pop-up in the tabs here for certain plugins. Social Warfare, it's going to let you add these little social media links so that when readers come onto your articles, your website, they can show your article to their social media accounts and give you a little bit of a boost in exposure. And then you can adjust the settings. So for example, here it has posts and pages, and I'll go over what these two mean in a little bit later. But basically, pages are static pages on your website. Think of like a home page or a contact page or about me page, and then posts are going to be your article, your content pages. They're the ones that are going to constantly get updated. So for me, I have my social media links set to on for posts, which means that when you go into a post, you're going to see those links. For example, here, you see I have these links right here. All right, and then I have it off for the pages, so you won't see them on like the home page, for example. Okay, if I did want them, I would add them, and they would probably show up here somewhere. All right, so that's an example of one plugin you might want to look into. The next one I want to show you that you will need to continue follow along with this tutorial is called Elementor, and Elementor is going to be our page builder. That's what we'll use to kind of design certain pages through like a drag and drop method. So again, just go to plugins and search for Elementor. and just do the same thing. Okay, this is a free page builder you can use. You're just going to install and activate, and I'll leave that for now. We're going to come back to that one later. Just a couple more I want to show you. Next one is going to be Classic Editor, and this one it's just going to make it a lot easier for you to write your posts, because it's going to add like heading tags and little tabs to help you edit and finalize your WordPress article posts when you put them together. So Classic Editor, and then finally, if you want, this is optional, but you can also add a contact plugin so that people can contact you when they want to reach out to you. All right, the one I recommend is called Contact Form 7. Okay, it's pretty easy to use, and once that's installed, it's going to pop up here, Contact Forms. And all you do is you're going to click Add New, and you're just going to type in a name for it. And you don't have to worry too much about this. There's already like a preset setting, but if you do want to adjust some stuff like where the email is going to go to, you can change the email here. And it's probably the most important one. So once you're done, you're just going to click Save. And we have this shortcode that we can copy and paste into a post, page, or text widget. So I'll show you how I have it set up. So like I have my contact form here. This is the one I just created, but this is the one I already use. And we have this shortcode, right? So all you do is you copy it, and you can then create a page. It's like a contact page. So all you do is go to Pages, Add New, and you can title this whatever you like. If you want to, since we're going with the contact page, I'll just start here, contact page, and you're just going to add this little code snippet and just hit publish. Okay, and when you do that, what you should get is something that looks like this. All right, so I already have mine set up, but you can always, add some text. Okay. And then, by the way, this right here is going to be your URL. So, if you ever want to link directly from another part of your website to your contact page, you can always copy and paste this URL. And I'll show you how to do that with Elementor. Okay. But for now, let's move on. So we can leave. All right, so now that we went over setting up your hosting, picking a theme, and uploading some plugins, we're going to go over how to use the posts and the pages tabs. So just real quick, posts are going to be things like your blog posts, articles. It's going to be content that's going to be consistently new and updated. Pages are going to be static pages within your website. So think like an about me page or a contact page, or like a home page. That's going to be the pages. So in the beginning, you don't have to worry too much about adding all these different pages, but it is good to kind of be aware of the difference because it can be a little confusing at first. So first thing I want to show you is how we can create a home page using the plugins we have and the pages function. So you're just going to go to pages and you're going to do add new. All right, and we can name this homepage. And the reason I want to show you this is because I want to show you how you can actually design your website, because the classic editor that we have right here, it's good for the post function when you're putting together blog posts, but it doesn't really give us much flexibility if we want to design our page. So that's why we have the Elementor app. Okay, so we're gonna click here and it's gonna load. And now we can start adding in our information. Now, one thing I want to point out, the categories and menu items I have right here, you can actually delete that. So let me just go back so that it doesn't kind of affect the design of our website. So if you don't have GeneratePress, if you pick a different theme, it might look a little different. But for me, all I have to do is go here and select the blank canvas. We're going to save the draft and we're going to go back in. All right, now it's a blank canvas and we can start working on it. Okay, so as you notice here, there's all these different functions you can do, like add headings, text, images, icons. And if you sign up for the pro version of Elementor, it has a lot more different features that you can use to mess around with. So all we're going to do here is we're going to click on the folder to add a template, and you can kind of browse through some of these templates. Some of them are examples of landing pages, some of them are contact pages, and then some are good for like a home page. So like let's try this one right here, the home page one. Okay. And this is a preview of what it'll look like. So we just go to insert. All right, and now we have our page right here that we can edit. So if you want, you can, like replace this logo. All you do is you click on it and choose image. Let's see if I have mine here. So I can replace it with my own logo right here. Now, that looks bad. So obviously I would try and edit this so that the background of the logo matches the background of the image. And I actually can do that. I would just go, let's see here, to style. And you notice here, this is the default image. We can change that as well. So let's it can be whatever, but something like this, and then you can go in here welcome. You can adjust these images too. Okay. This testimonial area, if you want, you can adjust the photo here. Let me show you. Let's see if that'll work. Yep. And we have some buttons here, and we can actually go in here and add our link. Let's say we want to link out to our blog. All we'd have to do is type in the URL for the blog, and it'll link to that. I already have some created posts here, so then they'll just auto-populate and I can add that. Okay, and once you're, kind of finalizing everything, all you do is hit publish. Now, one thing I want to point out is when you're creating this, you want to make sure that you have at least one link that links out to the rest of your website, like your blog area. Okay, so like that might be this one right here, or you can manually add buttons yourself. Once we're done, we can publish. Okay. Alright, so now your page is live, and we can preview it if we want to, but I'm just gonna go back to the dashboard and show you how you can now add this as your home page. Okay, now like I said, we created a home page, but you can do the same thing for different pages. If you want to create like an about me page, you can do that with Elementor, or like a help page, you can do that as well. Okay, so now we're going to go down to settings and reading. Okay, now you notice here it says your homepage displays. You can either choose your latest posts, which will just be something like this, where it just shows your blog entries, or you can do it for the static page, meaning it'll set as your home page, and then that'll link out to your blog post. So all we have to do is select the name of the page that we just created using Elementor, and that's going to be the home page. And then the post page, I'll show you how to do that. It's really simple. So all you do is you go back into pages, and you're going to do add new, and you're going to say you're going to give it a title, and you can leave this blank, and you're just going to hit publish. All right, now when you publish it, it's going to connect that page, this blog entries page, as your post page when you finalize everything. So now we have this blog entries page, and we're going to go back down to settings, reading, and we're going to set it to blog entries. Okay, and then when we save the changes, we'll have our home page, and we're going to have a link out to our blog page, which looks like this. Now, it's optional. If you want, you can just leave everything as latest posts, or you can create static page if you want to do the home page settings. It's really up to you. So okay, so the next thing I want to show you is categories. Okay, now categories are going to help you create these kinds of menu items. All right, and that's important if your readers are looking through your website and they want to look for something else, some kind of related content. If you have like a categories menu setup, that'll help them sort things out. So you just go to posts, and then down to categories, and then add a new category. And you can skip this part, and you're just going to add new, and it's going to pop up here. And now if we want to add the category to our menu right here, we're just gonna go back. We're actually gonna go down to, let's see, appearances, menus, and we can select from our categories, view all, and help category. We can add it to the menu. Okay, you see that? And you can kind of mess around with it if you want to move it as a subcategory under blog. You can do that, and then that'll look like this, subcategories. And then whenever you create a new post, like a new article, I'll show you. You can determine which category it goes in. So this one right here, one of my latest articles, I set the category to guides. Okay, so then when you go to guides and you finalize everything, I'll show you here. It's going to show up here. Okay, so that's how we create categories for blog posts. If you want, you can also use other pages or posts and add them to your menu. So let me show you real quick. If you want to add something to the menu, it can be, like I said, a category that we've created under posts and categories, and then it'll go here. Or we can add pages or posts onto the menu as well. Okay, it's up to you. It just depends on how you want to structure your content. And by the way, if you want to edit this part of the website, you can always go back to your page, and once you're logged in, you can customize everything by clicking the customize, and then you can scroll through the different functions here, and you can update things like the same thing here, homepage settings, or you can adjust the colors. If you want to change the logo, you can go to site identity, change the logo, or you can remove it. You can adjust the placement. If you want to display some email subscription forms or some ads, you can adjust that here by clicking the pencil widget. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways to organize the design of your website. I'm just gonna give you a brief overview of kind of the most basic ways to do things. So okay, so we've gone over categories and we've gone over pages. I did want to show you the post area a little bit more. Basically, when you're adding a new post, like I have here, okay, you just go to add new, and after you type everything up, you want to designate a category for it, and if you want, you can also add a featured image. Okay, so you click here and you choose an image, like say this one right here, and that's going to be displayed for each of your blog entries. This is going to be the featured image, and when you click onto it, it'll pop up for the blog post as well. When you give a description, you might notice that the URL will auto-populate, but you can always edit that. So if you want to edit it, you can choose to do so. This is something that you'll probably want to do if you have a pretty long article title. Instead of having like a really long URL, you can edit it to kind of shorten it and make it look nicer. That's what I typically recommend. Now, you have the option to write out your blog post here, but what I like to do is I like to go to Google Docs and type up everything in here. Just because it automatically saves your work, it lets you, add links, it lets you add headings, and then once everything is done, you can just copy everything and paste it back into your blog post. And then if you want to add media, like add images, you can do that. You can adjust the headings. There's different fonts. I'd recommend for larger headings to go with the H2s. And like this is an H2 heading. And then for the subheadings below that, go with the H3 headings. Okay. And that is pretty much it. I think the stuff that I've shown you will give you a really good foundation for putting together your WordPress website. If you want to keep going from this point, the next thing would be to start looking for some ideas to create content. What I recommend is a website called Answer the Public. So just go to your browser and type in Answer the Public, and we can go with the example they have here. Say you're creating a website about chocolate. Okay, so you just go in and you search, and it should give you a list of different topics that people are actively searching for on Google. So if something looks interesting to you, or it's something you want to share more information on, you can select this as a topic and start publishing some content for your website. Okay, so let's see, like for example, chocolate and peanut butter cake. Okay, you can kind of browse and see what's something that you could write about. So which chocolate is gluten-free? If that'd be something you're interested in, you can click on that and kind of see what the results are like on Google. And if you notice there's not a ton of great articles, or you think you can kind of write something that's a little bit better than what already exists, yeah, just go ahead and start publishing. So just go into your posts, add new, and publish your article. So I think that's a wrap. I hope this brief guide into how to create a website using WordPress was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll try and answer it. If you want to learn more about how to use Elementor, I'll leave a link to one of my articles right here. I kind of gave some screenshots and went over some of the basics on how to add more functions and customize different pages for your website. So, all right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.